Yes, guys, welcome to your Australian League Match Week 3 preview, as we will be going through 6 games this weekend, which include Brisbane Roar versus Melbourne City, Perth Glory versus Melbourne Victory, Auckland FC versus Adelaide United, Newcastle Jets versus Sydney FC, Macarthur versus Western Sydney Wanderers, and Central Coast Mariners versus Wellington Phoenix. We will be going through each of them games. If you guys are going to enjoy, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Reminder that your football roundup will be out on Sunday. And your Chelsea versus Tottenham preview will be out tomorrow. And yeah, let's get into the first game of the weekend. As Brisbane Roar are home against Melbourne City. Melbourne City obviously last week absolutely destroying the fuck up of Glory 4-0. And it was a very convincing win. Brisbane Roar obviously did lose last week. So, I don't know what to think, honestly. I'm going to go with a Melbourne City 3-1 win here. I don't see Brisbane Roar getting a single point from this game. Perth Glory versus Melbourne Victory is next. I call this the shithead derby. The two shit clubs this season. Two shit clubs. None of these clubs are looking good. They're not looking good, bruv. Not looking good. Perth Glory obviously losing 4-0 last week. And then they sack their manager. Let's see who they bring in, really, because I think that squad is pretty dead anyways. So, yeah, and then Melbourne Victory last week. What did they do last week, actually? Let me just remind myself. They lost 5-2 to Newcastle Jets. Both got battered everywhere they went. I thought Melbourne Victory were pretty shit last week. I mean, match week 1, what did we do? We drew. But they are pretty miserable, I would not lie. I don't know what to think. It's either going to be a goal fest or two shit clubs trying to score but they can't score. I'm going to go with the least shitter, which is Melbourne Victory, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Melbourne Victory. Next, we got Auckland FC versus Adelaide United. Last weekend, Auckland FC obviously won 1-0 against Western Sydney Wanderers, and Adelaide United lost 2-1. I was not surprised. I was not expecting that to happen. Adelaide United obviously losing to Macarthur is a pretty rare thing to happen. And at the moment, I do actually think Adelaide United is probably the better side. Look, I know last week they lost, but Auckland FC scraping a 1-0 win. I don't know what to think, because A-League can throw some surprises. A-League is one of them leagues where you can perform shit one week, then perform absolutely superb the next, unless if you're Perth Glory, of course. I don't know what to think here. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I actually honestly think that's got a pretty good chance of happening. Next is Newcastle Jets versus Sydney FC. Newcastle Jets obviously winning last weekend 5-2 against Melbourne Victory. Sydney FC winning last weekend as well, 2-0 against Central Coast Mariners. Obviously, Sydney FC they looked better last weekend, but fans who I do actively talk to think that they still play pretty miserable football and they are not a great side. And they are not feeling confident this season. Newcastle Jets fans Yes, I've probably only spoken to one, but that one fan did say that they're actually feeling a bit confident. Obviously, after the Hans Australia Cup win on the 4th of October, I do actually kind of expect this game to be very Newcastle Jets. And I'm going to go with a 4-1 win for Newcastle Jets. I see it happening. I think Sydney FC aren't great at the moment, and Newcastle Jets just look like the more clinical outfit. Next is MacArthur versus Western Sydney Wanderers. This game, once again, you can think both ways. MacArthur getting a win last weekend, which is key, and Western Sydney Wanderers losing. So just based on form, not even form, honestly. Never mind, we'll base it off form. MacArthur win 3-2. Then to end off this match week, it's Central Coast Mariners versus Wellington Phoenix, and I can't speak. I honestly think Central Coast Mariners are winning this game for a few reasons, okay? One of my reasons are quite ever so simple. Wellington Phoenix, that one spark result last weekend doesn't change anything. I still think you're pretty set. Central Coast Mariners, I think, look more confident. Yes, we lost last weekend, but the fact that match week 1, they beat Newcastle Jets in the way they did, they still look half decent, Central Coast Mariners. And I just think they'll win this game. I know there's something in me, and I think it'll be Central Coast Mariners 3. No, let's do 2-1 Central Coast Mariners. But yeah, I also just want to talk about the leading goal scorers at the moment. In the A-League. Obviously, the key ones to me, in terms of ones who stand out, is Alexander Badalato and Max Caputo. I thought both have been superb this season. Obviously, Badalato last weekend absolutely scored some wonderful goals, wonderful strikes. And I think that will continue into this weekend. In terms of assists, Corbin Piper and Al Hassan Torre are leading the assist charts. Well, Corbin Piper is with 2, rest has 1. Haven't watched much of Corbin Piper. I watched a lot of Sydney FC, and he's looked decent. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, of course. A reminder, once again, that you'll be getting your Tottenham preview tomorrow. And you will also be getting your Football League, your football roundup on Sunday. And your Tottenham review on Saturday evening. There will be a surprise video out on Monday, I believe. Yeah, so different type of video on Monday. And no, I'm not going to be doing a EFL Cup round reaction. It's Cardiff City. I don't watch Cardiff. But yeah, Monday we'll be going through a more in-depth look at Chelsea, and we'll touch on some A-League news at the end. So it'll be kind of a news / Chelsea deep dive. Thought I'd do it because we need to fill in the slots. Make sure you are subscribed to New Talks Life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace!